NBA 2K18 tutorial number 10. Today we officially begin our journey together in finding the best freelancers and best money plays in 2K18. We will be starting off with our first one of the year, and it is the Warriors Motion Cuts freelance. Now, this is a tutorial series with 3 levels of advancements. I'm not just going to teach you guys the branches like a lot of the tutorials you see out there, or the ones I used to do myself. That's too static. That's not free flow. Look at the footage you see here, and all the motion is beautiful. I will be showing you guys how to attack in all different ways out of the freelance, with money plays, with branches, without branches, with handoffs, without handoffs. We're gonna do everything in flow with no static. There will be 3 levels of advancements and 3 parts to this series. So today we'll focus on level 1 and the basic required components you need to run freelancers and money plays together the way I have designed for you guys. And what you see there is level 3, and it's nasty. So here are the required settings you will need. Now make sure the setup is identical because you need that to make it work. Now, first things first, you gotta see on the coach settings, it has to be done that way. So you gotta make sure the offensive play vision is on all plays, and the play call messages are on show all, everything manual, play vision display full. Make sure ace is off because they changed your freelance without your permission, and defensive communication also on for defensive purposes, but coach settings done as such. And another important aspect you must follow is the controller settings. Make sure that the skip pass is disabled so you can run katana, and make sure icon passing is set to full receiver control, while receiver control is switched to handoff and pitch pass, because you will be needing the handoff controls to run my freelancers from level 1 to 3, especially in level 1 and 2. Okay? So like I discussed earlier, the freelance that we will be using, number 1 this year, is going to be Warriors Motion Cuts. So make sure you tap left on the D-pad, scroll R2 until you see the Warriors freelance, and you can select it. And you can also, once again, tap the left on the D-pad, bring up the page, and you can also change it to the freelance style to make sure you select motion cuts. Okay, so that's left on the D-pad and R2 to select the pages and pick with the buttons. So you must be like, Sam, why Warriors? There's so many out there. Why not Pace? Why not other freelancers? Well, this is because I have discovered that some freelancers have terrible ISO spacing that is gonna doom you to failure. Take a look here. This is the Pace freelance. I have called isolation here, and I'm simply just running a middle pick and roll. That is a pretty useful tactic in general, but as you can see, focus on the right side where the 2 wing players are standing. You see how stuck they are and how together it is, that they're not spread very well. And worst of all, as your pick and roll attack develops, none of the players on the wings moves. Look at the 2 wing players are not moving, and neither is the guy on the weak side. So you're completely stuck. Watch this again, another pick and roll out of Pace motion cuts, no less. There is no motion. Like, this is a crowd fest. Look at how stuck. There's nothing here, and this is in Pace no matter what you do, as long as you run an isolation middle pick and roll. Now let's switch it to swing and see what happens. We run another pick and roll, and watch, crowd is spacing on the left, crowd is spacing in here, no one is moving, none of the wing players are moving. This allows the defense to help as much as they want. That is a terrible shot, and you'd be like, oh Sam, why don't you switch out the motion cuts and go scoring actions? It doesn't matter. This is just poorly done, I guess, by the game. The spacing is as such, and it's crowded, so any middle pick and roll in these freelancers is going to be a struggle. Watch, I switch back to motion cuts here, and I run another pick and roll. And look at the wing players. None of them move, staggered spacing on the left especially. Like, why is there no one on the wing? This is suicide for spacing. It just makes no sense. So you must avoid this at all costs, and the best way to do so is switch yourself to the Warriors freelance, which have 0 such problems. That's why this makes it a very strong freelance in 2K18, and that's why we'll be using it for the series for level 1, 2, and 3. So take a look at Warriors freelance here. As you can see, I'm selecting it, Warriors motion cuts, and I'm running a middle pick and roll. And from the start, look at the left side where the 2 wing players are. From now on, I'm going to call that the double side. Now on the double side, you can see Derrick Rose is standing much higher. And look at the Pace in comparison. Look at the double side where the wing player is. He is very close to the corner guy. That is just silly spacing. Same thing in swing. Focus on the double side once again by the Milwaukee Bucks on the left. Once again, terrible. Like, both guys in the corner. Nobody does this in the NBA. Why is there nobody on the wing? But in contrast, if you go back to Warriors again, you can see Derrick Rose is up on the wing, the corner guy has room to move, and not only is Derrick Rose up on the wing, as you run this pick and roll, Derrick Rose is also field wing. Focus on Derrick Rose and see how he feels the ring up top. That is that extra motion that is going to shift the defense, and I'm going to run it again, and this time on the double side, LeBron James has become the wing player, and you can see as Rose and Kevin Love runs this pick and roll, James comes up to field the top, extra motion leading to more help defense scrambles, which means open shots. This is huge, family. So once again, another isolation middle pick and roll. Look at where Corver is. As the pick and roll develops, Corver feels the wing, which opens up the corner for a wide open free this time. Look at another image compared to pace to swing. Look, when Corver catches the ball in the corner, Crowder is in the damn way. Because pace and swing freelance does not have the guy moving upwards as your pick and roll develops. And in Warriors freelance, no such pop-up. Wide open shot for Iman Shumpert because as you can see, Corver has filled the wing out of that middle pick and roll. So you can see once again, pace. And another problem I want to discuss is if you look at the single side, I want you to focus on single side, so that's the left where Jay Crowder is. If you go to the right here, look at Jay Crowder on the opposite wing corner on the left. He just stands there and crouches spacing. But if you switch it to Warriors motion cuts, check it out this time. As I bring the ball up, focus on the single side. So that's on the right this time with Isaiah Thomas. I run this pick and roll. And you can see Isaiah feels the top from corner to wing, which opens himself up because the defense has to shift. Wide open free ball. That's an eternity of difference, family. So, in level 1 of the Warriors freelance, what I want you to focus on, and what I'm teaching you guys, is you want to run isolation, middle pick and roll, motion attack. That is what I consider the level 1 version, as you can see. Because as you run middle pick and rolls out of Warriors freelance, the wing players move, everybody shifts, so this allows you either open shots and open drives, and the extra motion is just so gorgeous for you to work the ball around, and if it doesn't work the first time, you can run it again. So this is, look at that, Parker feels the wing, and he's not a good shooter, so I bring it back and I run it again, and you can see as I run it, everybody's shifting, switching sides from corner to corner, wing players feels the wing. The extra motion forces the weak side defenders or the help defenders to move with the offensive players. If they don't follow the guy that's moving, you get an open shot. If they do follow the guy that's moving, you get an open drive. That extra motion that Warriors freelance has gives you these open shots. Unless other freelancers such as pace and swing, you're not gonna get it because the advantage goes to the defense because none of the wings player move when you run a middle pick and roll, which is the bread and butter of basketball. So check out the extra motion here. This is deadly, which opens up the row. 2 points. Now that you know that the Warriors motion cuts has heavy pick and roll motion if you run it from the middle, out of isolation or not out of isolation, you are now also going to add in handoffs. And adding motion handoffs is what I consider turning this Warriors freelance motion cuts to level 1.5. And to run handoff this year, make sure you go to controller settings like I talked about earlier. Switch icon passing to full receiver control while switching receiver control to handoff and pitch pass, which means if you hold circle now and target a player, that player is going to come towards you for a handoff or a pitch pass. Obviously now you're worried, it's like, oh Sam, how do I do the RC slip? Don't worry, because you have switched full receiver control to icon passing. I will be teaching you how to do that in level 2, so that will be tomorrow's video, but let's focus on handoff for now. So you have switched receiver control to handoff and pitch pass. So if you hold circle now, as you can see here, I'm holding circle, targeting LeBron James by pushing the left stick at him, and that triggers a handoff. So this is a pitch pass because it let go of circle earlier. So if you hold on to circle, I suggest hold on to turbo too just to make it faster. Let go of circle, don't let go of turbo. The guy will come up, catch it, and he'll go full speed. Make sure you're holding on to turbo though, so the player who is receiving the handoff and coming out of the pitch pass will be very fast. So you see, I begin the possession by running that middle motion pick and roll, but I go into the handoff, which is further shifting the defense into another handoff and into a middle pick and roll. And make sure as you are catching the handoff, also trigger the icon pick and roll as early as possible. The more motion you have running the middle pick and rolls out of the handoffs, the more advantages you have because you're shifting the defense. You see, as I've received the handoff, I've already called a pick and roll with icon pick and roll. And that was slow motion. That actually only took about 1 second and less than 1 second in real speed. So it's really important. If you know the handoff is not getting you that initial drive, you are gonna catch the handoff, and while you're moving, icon pick and roll. So tap L1, hold L2, you see I'm moving and catching the handoff. That is a huge advantage. The defense shift doesn't work the first time because of the wing motion, because of the Warriors freelance. We do it again, look at the wings moving, which opens up the roll out of a switch. The handoffs, the multiple handoffs I did actually forced the switch. So that's another advantage by running multiple handoffs before you go into your middle isolation heavy pick and roll motion attack out of Warriors motion cuts. Gorgeous stuff. This is the way that I will be running all freelancers this year. I hate being static as I was last year with Money Plays and freelancers, but not anymore. See me catch that handoff, call that pick and roll while I'm moving. That gives me the drive. Beautiful. So the main focus I want you guys to focus on is that obviously these handoffs are random. It's level 1, so do it as you see fit. But if the handoff don't get you that first drive, look at me how fast I caught that pick and roll as J.R. Smith caught it. See, I forced the switch, I forced the movement, so now I can run it again because it didn't yield much. I do it again, and now we get the roll. Extra motion everywhere is going to destroy Hall of Fame AI defense, and it's going to hurt people online because there's just, if they don't have the right settings and you're playing against another human, this is deadly. As I will show you guys online gameplay down the line after I discuss all 3 levels. Look at the multiple handoffs there leading to this middle pick and roll. Extra motion, feels the corner, cuts back in, cuts back out. Deadly. And here's probably my favorite clip, so you can see LeBron bring it up. Hands off to Isaiah with circle and turbo. Isaiah comes out. As I'm moving, I call for the pick. Use the screen. Look at all the extra motion by LeBron cutting in. J.R. Smith feels the corner. Swish bomb. All that motion. Goodness. Damn. Now also though, make sure you go to practice mode and to practice handoff, just the timing itself, because you gotta get the correct animation to get the most speed coming out of the handoff. And also just not, stuck. Because it's all about being in flow and not being static here, right? Because if you miss the timing on this, it will slow down your handoff severely. So you can see me miss the timing here. Either I'm going too early or I'm not using the right space. You see how he does the fake pass? This is because I'm not pushing the turbo and the left stick correctly as I come out of the handoff. So this is gonna take a lot of practice. I suggest you just work on this and figure out your own timing. Obviously, it will still work because of the nice motion cut spacing of Warriors, but deep down you want to nail every handoff and you want to avoid those ugly handoff animations. So I suggest practice as much as you can. You can see me screw up again here because I'm leaning him the wrong way. I'm not lead passing very well, and also not letting go of circle at the correct time, either too close or I'm not using the left stick correctly. So you see, out of the 4 handoffs I ran there, I think 2 of them were bad. So avoid those at all costs. You can see the ugly animation when you know you did it wrong. So also you make sure the spacing is not too tight. You want to run into the guy that's receiving it. Like this was good, but then I pushed the left stick kind of too far away, and bad spacing, bad handoff. Still good results, but you gotta get that timing down yourself because it's very important. So make sure and you don't do that where you're just handing off to the guy right next to you so there's not enough space. There's a lot of timing involved in space reading, but at the same time, the Warriors motion cuts freelance still deadly. So run this and let me know how you guys do with level 1. As I show you guys level 2s and 3s. Level 2 for sure on Sunday. And probably level 3 on Monday. This will get even better, even more motion with Money Plays. It's really, really good because I feel like what I have taught you guys before in terms of Money Play and freelancers, or the ones you see out there, it's just too static, right? And it's not read and react, it's all predetermined. This, on the other hand, is not. Like, you know what you're doing. You're gonna hand off, see if there's a drive. If there's nothing, you're gonna flow into a middle pick and roll, and you know everybody is moving and filling spots as you're running that, so that's deadly. Here is level 2, as you can see. I'm gonna add Money Plays to the system, level 3 also. That's beautiful. That's everything all together. So make sure you subscribe also for Monday night live streams where I talk to you guys about the tutorial as I mentioned, and I'm also planning to play with you guys in the park this Monday. We're gonna have a discussion session on how to win in the park together as a team, figure out who wants to play, and then we're gonna go to the park and destroy people. I'll get destroyed, who knows, maybe take some ankles or some crossover moves. So make sure you come by Monday night live stream to hang out and to play some park with strategy session, which is gonna be, I like that. You guys know me, I'm a basketball nerd. As always, thanks for coming by. Level 2 freelance tomorrow with Money Plays. I'm very excited. Yeah. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you guys next time.